welcome to This Is Where It's At podcast. I'm your host, El Jefe, and I got my right hand, my partner, Shelly Baby. So subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button because we know you like the videos, of course. Thank you for tuning in again to This Is Where It's At podcast. I am your host, El Jefe, and today is Tuesday, December the 21st, and I have my lovely co-host,
Shelly Baby.
Shelly Baby in the house. Yeah, so check this out. We are going to jump right into it. What is today's topic, Shelly?
Today's topic is, why is it so difficult for men to express their feelings?
That's a great topic. I'm sure there's a lot of men that has this issue. I know I used to, and there's some other guys out there that I know that have the same issues as well. And it's kind of like hard for them to really talk about it. You know what I'm saying, Shelly?
Yeah.
I mean, when you had your past boyfriends, was it easy for them to talk to you?
Yeah, to some degree. To some degree, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think when they were overwhelmed, or like, say, for instance, if their cup was just full, then they eventually talked about it, but probably not in length. So, but I have had, male associates who have felt more comfortable talking to me as a female than they have talking to their own friends. Because I did ask, I was like, don't you have some male friends that you can talk to about this? Because this can be kind of male related, whatever. But of course, they would say they just felt more comfortable talking to me. Now, I'm a good listener. I mean, that's just naturally I am.
Right.
So maybe they just felt, more comfortable speaking to me because I do lend an ear. And if I have some sound advice, then I will convey that information. If I don't have anything to say, then I'll just listen. However, I think when I did pose the question, some of the guys were like, well, it's kind of hard talking to the fellas because, they feel like, man, you need to just man up. It's not that serious.
Right.
It's just kind of like they will brush it off.
Right.
And I think, me personally, even though I'm not a male, but I just see from the outside looking in that because of the way society has discouraged men from opening up and speaking about their feelings, I think, their friends, they grew up in the same, mindset. So I think, that's what made it very difficult for them to talk to their friends. And sometimes I think even the male, family members. But I just would say that I've had that experience, yes, where it was difficult for them to talk about, what was bothering them and that sort of thing. But I would try to find ways to make a safe place for them to open up and speak to me about it.
That's not to cut you off, but that's one of the main things most guys have an issue with, is having a safe space within the person they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to develop trust. I have to trust you to tell you certain things that's going on with me, or things that I've done in my past, If I don't have that trust within you, if you're not showing me, hey, it's kind of like telling you a secret that I don't want anyone to know. If I can't trust you in that way, then I'm going to keep things to myself. Now, as far as the other side, as far as things that I'm going through, the issues, most men deal with their problems on their own. And in fact, this is what leads to a mental issue with some of us. This is because there's so much is bottled up inside. It's like, who can we talk to? It's hard for us to trust. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want nothing to be thrown back in our face after we've told you some things that's going on, and then we looked at as, we're being weak. We're not being strong. We're not being a leader, because leader is not supposed to break in some women's eyes, right?
Right.
But everybody breaks down.
Yeah. But I think, it's just the belief system and, the way it's been set up is that, men are not supposed to express their feelings,
Right.
And, also that they don't really experience feelings to the same degree as women. But I think that's false.
Right.
We all experience things, male and female, it doesn't matter. How we express those feelings, maybe a little bit different. Women tend to be more emotional. And so therefore, I think the way things were set up, when we were growing up as little girls, we were able to watch, different television shows like fairy tales and soap operas and different things like that, that would be able to provide us with some way of expressing our emotions and being okay with it. Mm-hmm. Whereas men were the hunters, the gatherers, they were the providers, they were the ones that, had to brush it off and just be manly and just not be able to express, just I'll work it out, I'll make it do what it do, I got this, that sort of thing. And I think that's not good in my opinion. Like I said, from the outside looking in, I don't feel like that's good, so I was just kind of looking into ways of how to make a safe place, to help a man express his feelings. What do you feel like anyone, not necessarily just your significant other or your girlfriend, your wife, but just anyone, to allow a safe place for you to be able to open up. Now, I know you mentioned about the trust, and that's very important. So I think that goes across the board. Because trust me, if I don't trust someone, I'm not opening up. I don't care how long I've known them. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter the type of relationship or connection that I have with them. If I don't trust you, then I'm not going to open up, because you've already made it to where I don't feel like there's a safe place for me to speak about, those deep things that are hidden within. Right. But what would you say to these men out here, or even to the women, that, a safe place would look like for a man to be able to express his feelings openly?
I mean, you got to think about it like this. Everyone wants to feel safe and comforted, right? Like, right. Women are supposed to be nourishers, right? We're supposed to be able to come to you, lean on you, cry on your shoulders.
Right.
And say, hey, you know what? I had a bad day. Can you just hold me? But we, as men, we sometimes second think that, like, okay, you know what? I better not. Let me just stay in my lane over here and just be the leader. I'll cry. I'll comfort myself. But I would say this right here, because this is what I'm going to do in my next relationship. I am going to get that out of my head, right? So I'm going to, whatever I'm dealing with, I am going to have my partner understand that this is what she's here for. Mm-hmm. You're here to comfort me. I'm here to comfort you as well. But
help me. Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to think that I'm supposed to be rough, rugged, and raw all the time.
Right.
I need that soft space with you when I need to be in your space. I need you to be there. So when we can stop thinking like we have to always maintain this character of being the alpha. I'm going to use alpha because I'm an alpha. And I'm going to use that term because there's a lot of men like me that hold things in. I hold things in a lot. And I always feel like I got to deal with it on my own because people can't handle the problems that, even if I spoke to you about what I'm going through, I feel like you can't handle the things I go through. So I'm going to keep it to myself. But I'm learning now that if you don't take the risk or take a chance to just, you know what, this is my mate. Let me just let her know how my day is going, good or bad. First try and see just see what she says. Just Test it out. So, baby, it's going to be okay. I'm here for you. You can talk to me about anything. You know, when you get that feedback, then that's someone that really cares and that's concerned about you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what men need. We need women that are nurturers. That's going to be there. That's not saying that you got to baby us all the time. No, but at least show us that you care, some compassion of the things that we go through. Because that's what we love. A woman that knows how to treat us on the soft side, she'll get more out of us. Because now we know we have a true feminine woman that really cares, not one that shows that she can be just as manly as we can when we need that soft side. But yeah, you can stand up when we need to stand up together strong against the people out there. But when I need you, I need that feminine woman that shows me she cares, she loves me, she's concerned about my days and concerned about my health, concerned about how I eat, concerned about staying in shape. You know what I'm saying? Let me know that you care. Because if I got an issue, you're the first person I'm going to run to. And if I don't get that from you, then guess who I'm going to talk to? I'm going to talk to my mother, because me and my mother's close. But my woman should be the first person that I go to. So, yeah, we need that space, fellas. We need that soft, gentle type of woman, because we like, you know, in today's times, things are different than what they used to be. Because, you know, I would say in our mothers and fathers era, mothers were that back then. They were the ones that took care of their husbands and made sure that they are okay. They made sure if anything was going on, hey, what's wrong? Let me run you some. Let me run your bath water for you. You know, let me get it all sudsed up. You just go in there and you relax while I get your food together on the table. And everybody have dinner together. And then the kids go to bed because they got school the next day. And then that's when it's the time for the husband and wife to talk about things. Iron things out.
I was going to ask you, what would be your advice? Like, say, for instance, this man is just overwhelmed by everything that's weighing on his shoulders. Let's say he doesn't have a wife or a significant other. And, you know, all he has is just maybe a couple of friends, you know, whatever the case may be. But for whatever reason, he doesn't feel comfortable talking to those male friends. Then what would you suggest in a situation like that?
Well, honestly, like I always tell people, remember everything starts within you.
Right.
So our number one connector is who? God. So we must get on our knees and we talk to him. If we don't have anyone we can talk to, you got to talk to the big man upstairs. And find out from your male associates, your male friends, whoever. Just feel them out and figure out, okay, which one would be easier to talk to? Because, yeah, you're going to have some that's going to tell you to man up, stick your chest out, take charge, don't buckle in, whatever. You're going to have those types of friends. But you're going to need someone that's also going to be there to give you some good word of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to always have to have that fear of going to someone and them like telling you, you know, nah, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to cry, bro. Suck it up. You know, it's okay to cry. It's okay to talk to people, but you, like you said earlier, you know, you want to talk to people that's going to be there for you. But if you don't have anyone to talk to, I just say pray. That's what I used to do. I just prayed to God. Like things I was dealing with, I get mad at people because of things that's going on. You know, I'm like, okay, you know what? Instead of being mad and holding all these things in and let it bottle up, then I explode on someone that I shouldn't even explode it on. Let me just go ahead and pray this thing out. Because, you know, stress leads to death. The things you are stressing about, the things you are holding in is only going to cause two things. You're going to hurt somebody or you're going to hurt yourself later.
Right.
And you don't want to do neither. So pray to God and just ask him to go before you throughout your days. And if there's somebody, your significant other, that you're going through things with and you can't talk to her, Still pray to God. Let God handle those problems. And you just do your part. And that's speaking to him about your issues. Don't bottle anything in. Don't hold nothing in. Just pray about it.
Yeah, and just to prevent from brushing things off and just saying, well, I'm just, I'm the man and I can do this. I can handle this on my own.
Right.
Even if you have people to talk to, sometimes you just brush it off.
Let me ask you a question. What would you say to the females out there that have men that don't talk to them because they may not be, they may not be as soft as, yourself or whoever other female that's out there that's comforting their men. Like you have females that, they're not into the, kissy type things, and they're just about, hey, as long as the bill's paid, I don't care about nothing else.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't bombard, him with trying to express his feelings or anything, but I would try to encourage him to acknowledge that there's a problem and that, there's something that he may be struggling with. That's the first thing. Now, of course, he may say, well, I don't really want to talk about it. And then, I have to give him his space. Because I think, sometimes when we pick and probe, because it's much easier for us to talk. So we don't see outside ourselves sometimes that it's not as easy for a man to open up and express their feelings. So we just assume that it's easy because it's easy for us, and it's not. So if they, say, okay, I don't want to talk about it, give them their space and say, hey, can we revisit a little bit later or something like that? And we could talk about it. And then, not just, because I know you say you go within and you just kind of go off to yourself. You may cry, whatever. I mean, again, that, as a woman, I am a nurturer. That's just me. Like I said, it's about providing a safe place to say, hey, I got you. I think a man wants to know that his significant other has his back. And of course, she has to also keep in mind how important it is to build a foundation of trust.
Right.
Because again,
most important.
If you don't have that, then it's just not going to be easy for him to open up to her. So that's key right there is, being able to trust your mate. Mm-hmm. And then, men are usually the ones that like to be the problem solvers. Right. So if I have a hint that, my man is going through this particular situation, I may come up with the same situation of my own and say, hey, sweetie, how would you handle this if I was going through this, that, and third, or whatever, and see how he would handle it. And then I would just kind of reverse it and say, okay, well, you just explained to me how I could handle this situation. You're going through the same thing. Maybe have you thought that you could probably handle the situation like that yourself? And just talk, just open up dialogue, just to kind of get them to think. Because I ask a lot of questions, and I know I do. I ask questions not, to, like I said, to bombard or anything like that, but just to kind of give the other person food for thought and give them a way to kind of solve their own problems by asking questions. Mm-hmm. But again, if they're not in the mood, then I fall back, Now, I will say this, men tend to want to relieve their emotions and their tension through sex and other addictive habits and things like that. But if that is the go-to all of the time, then you may want to encourage him to just really start opening up in a different way and encouraging him to talk. If he doesn't want to talk to you, it's okay. You may want to say, hey, I'll go with you to speak with someone else if that's what you want to do. And it's okay, because see, one thing I think we as a people have a difficult time talking to other people that we don't know, who we deem as strangers. But believe it or not, people I know have talked to me and I don't even know. I mean, I'm gonna put it this way. They don't know me from a can of paint, but they will talk to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't know them or anything like that, but I would deem to say that they're probably not the type of person that will open up and talk the same way they have with me to someone that they know. Because sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than it is to talk to someone you know, because the person that you know is probably going to be the one that's going to throw it back up in your face.
Right. Right.
So, and it's okay to encourage that as well, that, hey, if you don't feel comfortable talking to me or someone else that you know, let's go see if we can seek counseling, and I'll be there with you. You know, and it's important to be able to touch your mate and, you know, just get close to him and say, you know, just hold his hand and say, I got you. Let's talk. You know, I'm an eye person. I'm an eye-to-eye person. So I like looking in your eyes because it's my way of looking into your soul. So I'm like, I got you. And touch him, embrace him, and let him know that, okay, this is a safe place right here. And sometimes by doing that, it's easier to just get him to open up a little bit by getting down on his level, you know, just sitting down. I don't say you just talking over him while he's sitting down, but just sit down with him, next to him or in front of him, and just hold his hand. And then just try to avoid speaking about heavy topics at night. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when men get off work and that sort of thing, they need some time to decompress. And that's not the time to start talking about sometimes not even your problems. It's just, you know, let's have a chill moment. Then if you sense that something is wrong, then you may say, hey, do you want to talk? If not, I'm cool. We can talk about this later. Put it on the back burner, but not too far back.
Right.
And then we can talk about it. But I feel like that's a way to do it, you know, and just know that sometimes, you know, it's okay. It's okay. You have to let them know it's okay to even cry. Because I know that's a very difficult thing for men to do, because, again, society will say that that's not a strong man, that's basically a weak man, a soft man, or whatever. Of course, even when you were a little boy, you know, you were told by your fathers or uncles or someone older that says, get up. You know, you may have fallen down and hurt your leg or something, and you heard, get up off the floor, don't cry, that's for little girls. So now you automatically have been programmed to think that that's weak. You don't want to be associated with weakness.
Right. So
you hold it all in. But like you said earlier, that creates a lot of health problems. And that's not good, because me personally, if I love my mate, which if I'm with you, I love you, but I'm not going to have it to where we're not going to have that kind of that open transparency going on. Right. We're going to have that, you know, that's just, I mean, I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. So, and it's about being emotionally intelligent too. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important. So that's my take on it from a female's perspective, definitely.
Right. Well, that's good that we got both sides, 'cause I know people were probably depending on you to say what you felt and me to say what I felt on, you know, male side of things. But there's more to it, you know. We'll talk about that on another episode of This Is Where's That podcast. But we're not going to forget about the word of today by Shelly Baby.
All right. Basically, I was going to say that sometimes you have to know when to display emotions and when to delay emotions.
Say that one more time for the people in the back.
Sometimes you have to know when to display emotions and when to delay emotions.
Yes. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
So you heard it first here on This Is Where's That podcast from your girl, Shelly Baby. She gives it to you first at all times. And you know this. So yeah, this is your boy, El Jefe.
And this is your girl, Shelly Baby.
At This Is Where's That podcast. You guys have a blessed day and talk to you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.